Alright, so we have decided on our first 5 test loads. We're going to do 5 different loads of AR-15 and we've got bullets for it. So let's load these things up and take them in the range and see what we can get. And we're back. So can't say I'm super surprised by the results. I am a little bit disappointed, but couldn't get one that cycled the action reliably. It would be the short version of what happened. We're going to take a little bit more of an in-depth look at each target, each load, and see how he came out. So the first one was 12.0 grains of AR-15 and they did not cycle the action. So as you can see from the video here, the very first one somehow ejected the shell. I don't know how that happened because none of the other ones did that. At least from this test load, from the first, I think, 3 test loads, none of them would even eject a shell. So short stroking, which is pretty normal. I kind of had my hopes up because my gun shows signs of being a little bit overgassed. With factory ammo, it ejects the shells right at about 12:30 or 1 o'clock with factory ammo. So got my hopes up a little bit, but yeah, 12.0 definitely too light. 12.3 grains was also too light. Again, same thing. I mean, the first 3 were all the same story. Just they would shoot just fine, but they wouldn't eject the load, and let alone pick up another round out of the magazine. 12.6 grains, same story as you can see here. And then all 3 of these basically had roughly the same shot pattern. It was kind of, the point of impact was a little bit low. It wasn't as much lower than factory as I expected. It didn't seem to be a huge difference. That might just be because I was only shooting at 25 yards. I don't know. But anyways, the shots were not grouping super well, and I don't think I was putting a huge amount of effort into getting them to group well. And I also am just not that great of a shot. So nothing super impressive and nothing super unexpected out of these first 3 loads. But the 4th load started ejecting the shells reliably, so I got my hopes up again. But it still wasn't actually cycling. As you can see, it's still not semi-automatic. I still had to rack it to load the next one in the magazine every single time. But at least it was ejecting, so I guess that's better than nothing. Coincidentally, the 4th load, which is 12.9 grains, this one grouped really well, like really well, compared to the other ones anyways. So again, I'm not yet to the point where I'm really trying to dial in for accuracy. I'd like to get one that I can shoot semi-automatic before I worry about accuracy too much. But this one, assuming my crappy math is correct, is just over 2,000 FPS. I think it's 2,035 FPS if I'm remembering correctly. So that tells me I think that's approaching the center of the accuracy node right at that velocity with this bullet. So that's good to know. I was glad that one of them was like clearly way better groupings other than the 2 flyers compared to all the other groups. So the last load, 13.2, was the hottest load. I don't want to go any hotter, especially since I've confirmed now with this one the group's opened right back up. I definitely don't want to go any hotter with this powder. And again, even with 13.2 grains, I was still short stroking. So I think what that means is AR-15 isn't the right powder for this. That's not a huge surprise. It would have been kind of nice just because I could have had 1 powder to load my AR and my Mosin Nagant, but hey, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. So I've got another few powders I want to try next. I've got to do a little bit more reading before I decide what I'm going to buy next, but I'm going to look at CFE 223. I can't remember off the top of my head now. I've gotten some suggestions and I've read around a little bit, so we're going to try something, I think, a little bit slower, most likely. So something with a slower burn rate is what I mean. So hopefully we can keep the port pressures high enough to cycle the action with something that burns a little bit slower and doesn't just spike the chamber pressure right up front and then dissipate all of that before it gets to the port. So we'll try something else. Thanks for watching.